The Lifestyle Show, presented by Selina MacKenzie.
Here to talk about his third book, Batch, Prep Ahead, Easy Meals or Plants. Welcome to the show, Calum Harris.
Hello, how are we?
We are good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm sorry if I speak a bit like delayed. I'm like worrying how long the delay is. Do you know, like the weather? Like they're always reporting to someone on the weather, and it's always like a 10-second delay when they're live on the scene. Anyway, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And there doesn't seem to be a delay, so that's good news. Just talk normally.
Fantastic. Cool.
So am I right? This all started with Instagram?
My career, yeah, essentially. Like a lot of people these days online, it just starts by making one video and then getting the hang of just putting yourself out there. And for me, it was a case of I really wanted to be a kind of young cook spokesperson for people wanting to make meals that were quick and easy and also just happened to be plant-based. And my whole journey has just been a continuous repetition of finding out who I am, but also finding out what people like to make and what kind of lifestyle they lead. And usually it genuinely boils down to making recipes that people actually want at the end of the day. And that's what I've predominantly been doing for the past 7 years now.
Wow, congratulations. Yeah. And you're a vegan, are you?
I am, yeah.
So is this for vegans or is it also for vegetarians, flexitarians, etc.?
This is the kind of disservice of the book in a way, because you think naturally it's going to be this preachy kind of book when actually they're all just 80 brilliant make-ahead recipes that are plant-based but also really, really good. Like I would vouch for them. Even I have a lot of mates who'd probably vouch for them, and they're not even plant based. So, I mean, they might be biased in their opinion, but that kind of sums up really what I'm trying to get across in here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I'm a meat eater in general, but I very often eat plant based food. There's a lot more out there thanks to people like you than there ever used to be. Yeah,
and also it's easier because it just lasts longer in your fridge. Like you could make one of the recipes, for example, the one I'm going to talk about, and that will last in a freezer for like a good few months or in your fridge for up to a week and a bit and stuff like that, where it's like with meat, I guess you make it and you've got like a 2-day shelf life before it could potentially go off or bad. Whereas plant-based, you've got a bit more time, like a lot more shelf life.
Yeah. And would that be like a one-pot recipe that you'd freeze?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the book, there's loads of one tray dishes. I do. There's a what is it? Yeah, there's a curry which relies on roasting veg and putting that all in the same tray, including the coconut milk and whatnot. I love doing recipes like that. There's also like a one tray cheesecake and whatnot. Ooh. But this one in particular is all done in the same tray.
Excellent.
The recipe that I'm about to talk about, which
yes, I've got you. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later. And you also have some air fryer friendly recipes.
Correct. So everything in the book at the very top of the page says what they're suitable for. So I've made sure the recipes in there have a key to say either air fryer friendly or slow cooker, because that's popular, and also gluten free, which is another thing because lately people are finding out that they suddenly can't eat gluten. So I felt like it was an important thing to find out the recipes that were just so happen to be gluten free.
Yeah,
and indicating that as well.
I think a lot of people probably have been gluten free for a while and just didn't realize it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of my friends even are finding out about their gluten intolerances. And it's funny when you go to a pub and they suddenly try and ask for a gluten-free pint. You're like, oh, okay.
Can you get them?
Yeah. So
wow.
Who doesn't? There's quite a few breweries that do them. I think Moretti have a gluten-free one.
Well, what's there? I didn't realise that.
It's out of Spain. Well, hang on. Do Australia do gluten-free? Let's have a look. I'm having a Google while we're on this.
No worries. It's a good idea, actually. It's a very good idea.
Yeah, Australia do a gluten-free.
Excellent. I like that. And
there you are.
There are over 80 make-ahead recipes. It says designed for real life, which sounds great. But you also offer things like storage tips in the book.
Correct. Yes. So in essentially what I find with a lot of cookbooks is that it can come with a lot of expense, not only for the ingredients you're buying, but also the apparatus. I feel like you buy a cookbook these days and you suddenly realize, well, I haven't got a food processor, or I haven't got this particular peeler. So what I've done is essentially made sure that all these recipes can work with your Ziploc bags if you need to, or in my case, I love a good old Tupperware.
Yes, so do I.
Literally every recipe is able to be kept in one big airtight container, and I buy a bulk of them, and I just lived off them for the past year while I was doing this book.
Brilliant. It's a great idea. And I guess they're healthy. I mean, they're saying plant-based is very healthy nowadays.
Yeah, well, this is what the kids are saying. But I think anything that just so happens to include more veg is subsequently going to be much more healthier too. Yeah, you could slap a load of alternatives in there, but that's never been my kind of style. It's always been try and make something whole foody, try and make something that doesn't use many processed ingredients and just tastes lovely. And if you get the taste nice with minimal ingredients, then it can really promote healthy benefits.
Yeah, for sure. Now, before we go on to the recipe that you're going to share with us, I read on your website that this is your third and final cookbook. Is that true?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it is. You know what? When you're writing on your own, it can kind of make you feel like you've been sort of on a factory conveyor belt. And I'm 27 for context, which is young still. But I would love a bit more time just to figure out what it is I'm writing. And rather than having a book a year, like a lot of cookery writers, I prefer to take a pause on it while I know that for now, this is the best one I've done. And probably will do for a good while, and until anything comes up. And you never know in this day and age, it could be it. So I'd rather just let people know before it happens.
Oh, crikey. Well, they'll have to go out and buy the book then. We'll give the title shortly. But the recipe you're going to share with us is, and I love harissa, but I have to be careful because it's a bit spicy for me, roasted harissa bolognese?
Correct.
Over to you then.
All right. So, this recipe comes from my love of bolognese, and essentially I find that bolognese gets a lot of stick online if you don't do it correctly. I'm already at a disadvantage because I'm making one that's plant-based, so you're therefore going to put this onto more of a stricter critique. So I've tried to make what I consider to be the greatest vegan bolognese you're going to have from me. It's not only great in a taste perspective, but also a method. As I said earlier, it's done in one tray and it's all done in your oven. So once you've made this bolognese, you could essentially use it for anything, and it's chock with protein. We're using... Sorry, I've got the cold, hence why I had to cough then.
That's okay, bless you, no worries.
Well, thank you very much. We use what's called TVP, which you can find in a lot of health food stores and on online shops such as Amazon. But it is a dried soy mince, and for each 100 grams dried, it makes up for 55 grams of protein, which is quite a lot considering we use double the amount in this recipe. This recipe serves for, you basically take a sofrito mix, you mix it into the tray, you strip off a load of rosemary leaves. You don't strip off your clothes. That would be weird. But then...
What goes on in your own kitchen is up to you.
Oh, do you know what? There are probably weirder kitchens than mine. But we strip the rosemary leaves off and we chop them. Then you pop that and a sofrito mix, which you can get in most supermarkets, but essentially it's just a freezer bag of onions, carrots, and celery. So ingredients that you would find in bolognese. You put that in the oven for 15 minutes with a bit of oil. Then you add the soy mince in to a heat-proof bowl, and you pop miso into that with boiling water. Once you've done that, what you'll find is that the dry soy mince will become wet, but it will triple its size. And you chop mushrooms at the same time, and you leave that be. And then when it's out the oven, the sofrito and the rosemary, and it smells nice, you add in the mince, the mushrooms, a bit of garlic, olive oil again, oven that for 10 minutes, then take that out the oven after 10. Then you put in the usual suspects of tomato passata, veggie stock, balsamic, and good harissa. Now, you don't need harissa. You could add tomato paste just for an extra little bit of depth, but the harissa adds a really nice spice to a point where it just isn't overwhelming harissa. Does that make sense? It's kind of that nice, like, oh, there's something going on here, but not enough that's going to blow my head off.
It is nice. Yeah, it is.
Exactly that. When you've stirred that, you should end up with a massive tray of stocky, mincy veg. And you pop that in the oven for half an hour. And while that's popped in the oven, you can do what you want. You could stick on a jacket potato. I should also let people know that you can do this in the air fryer rather than using an oven tray. But basically, there's step-by-step measurements to give you the exact times in the book of how you would do that in an air fryer. In every recipe, there's cooking adjustments, by the way. But while that's going on, you could boil pasta, you could prepare a side salad if you want, or you could get your containers ready, yada, yada. But when that's out the oven for 30 minutes, you've got yourself a really nice, rich bolognese, and let that cool. And you can freeze that for up to a month or serve it immediately for dinner.
Sounds delish. Well, that and more is in the book called Batch Prep Ahead, Easy Meals or Plants, and it's by Calum Harris, who we're chatting to now. Now, I know you're on Insta. Do you have a website as well, Calum?
It's just calumharris.com. I rarely upload it and update it, but I'm mainly on the Instagram. If anyone cares. There you are.
Well, you've got a lot of followers, and I think social media is better than websites personally, because you can see day to day something new's happening, isn't it? They can watch videos, whatever. Yeah.
Well, also you could just update, like if you feel a certain way about something, like for example Arsenal winning the league, you could talk about that, and then people could go, "Oh, I like them a bit more. They're not an Arsenal fan." Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Oh, you're very funny. Calum, it's been a delight to chat to you. Thank you so much. And if you do decide to have a fourth cookbook out, then do let me know.
I will do. Thank you, Selina.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.